What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're starting this video off a little later today because it was so hot today. But I don't know if you could hear in the beginning of the video or not. It's kind of hard to pick up on the camera, or at least I think it was. I think it was pretty loud. But the E30 got rod knock. The motor finally let go. She's gone. I don't know what happened. I'm guessing it's just age. The motor does have 250,000 miles on it. And I think they're all original. The motor really hasn't had a lot of work done to it. But motor's gone, so that's why the car hasn't been on the channel for so long, is because I was just kind of figuring out what I was gonna do with it. And I finally figured it out. I picked up a motor already. I actually picked it up last night, so that's why I'm doing the video today. But we're gonna go over what motor I got. I'm gonna tear it down a little bit because it's sitting on an engine stand, and I gotta look at what parts I need to order, and we'll kind of go over the plan from there to get this car back on the road, because the end goal is to have a turbo on it by next year. So next summer, really. But let's just dive in. I'll show you the motor and then we'll tear it down a little bit. Alright guys, here's the motor. It's an M20 B25, so same motor that's in the 325 right now. 885 cylinder head, 2.5 liter. I didn't go with the swap. It's just, it gets pretty expensive when you add it all up, and I just really want a turbo inline six, and this is more the cheaper motor to go with, so this is what I went with. It's out of an 88 or an 89, not sure. The dude didn't have that much documentation on it. Motor's been sitting for about a year. Said it ran great before. Supposedly only has 144,000 miles on it, which is pretty good. That's about 100,000 less than the motor that's on the car now. But it looks pretty clean. It's definitely very, very, very greasy. But it came with the intake manifold, throttle body, intake boot, idle air control valve, which is nice. Those are pricey. Coolant hoses, injectors, injector harness, valve cover, exhaust manifolds. So it came with quite a bit of good stuff attached to it already. Obviously, like alternator, power steering pump, AC compressor, that's all gone off of it. But yeah, it actually looks to be in good shape. He turned it over. I made sure that it turned over. It had oil in it. Took some of that out. But the only issue on this motor that I've found is somebody JB welded the oil pan. So we'll have to pull the pan off of my motor and swap it onto this, because I don't really want to run that and run the risk of leaking. But we're going to tear this down a little bit today. I'm going to pull all this off, intake manifold off, probably pull some of these coolant hoses off, and then the exhaust manifolds and the valve cover. That's kind of my plan right now. I just want to get a little better idea of how healthy the motor is. But it looks to be in good shape, so we'll see. So I'm just going to do a time lapse because that's the best way to do it. So let's dive right in. Alright, we got all the cooling hoses off, and throttle body. Everything looks pretty good. Some of the hoses are a little cracked. Got the intake boot off, all that stuff. But looks pretty good. There's a little like corrosion kinda here and here on the thermostat housing. But other than that, it's looking pretty good actually. There's a little oil buildup right here. It's probably from sitting. But yeah, we got all the hoses off. So next up, I'm gonna pull the intake manifold, the exhaust manifolds, and then that should be pretty bare. And then we'll pull the valve cover and look inside the head. And then we'll kind of go from there. So yeah, let's pull this first. Alright guys, we pretty much got everything torn down. It's pretty bare now. Intake manifold's off, all the accessory stuff right here gone, thermostat housing off, little cover right here took off, exhaust manifold's taken off. It doesn't look too bad. I messed up, and you might call me an idiot for this, but I dropped the bolt down into the oil pan, but luckily we're taking the oil pan off anyway, so not too worried about it. I just can't forget about it. But yeah, you can clearly see it's an 885 cylinder head. If you want to know where that is, it's right kind of under the intake manifold right there, marked on the side of the head. The intakes actually look really clean. It looks pretty good on camera, but like all of the valves look really good. Valve seals look really good too. Exhaust ports. Also, there's a little, I think that's just from taking the manifold off, but the exhaust ports look really good. You know, just some carbon buildup, which is pretty normal. But it actually looks like a pretty good motor so far. So, next step, and kind of the final step that I'm gonna do today is pull the valve cover, and we'll kind of take a look at the valve train. And then, yeah, so we'll go from there. So I'll pull the valve cover real quick and we'll take another look. Alright, we got the valve cover off. It looks really clean in here actually. No like sludge buildup or anything. All the like rocker arms look good. The cam looks like it's in really good shape. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed right now. This motor's pretty clean. Obviously I don't know how exactly it'll run, but from what I've seen it looks really, really good. So it might actually be 144,000 miles. Alright guys, that was kind of all I wanted to cover today. I just wanted to get this thing torn down, see what I'm going to need to order. I already have a cart in FCP Euro that was everything that I thought I would need to kind of do this project, and I was pretty accurate on most of it. There's a few things that I'll need to add. There's no exhaust nuts for those studs on the other side, none of those, and I should probably just get new ones anyways because they're pretty cheap. And there's a few odds and ends that I'll need to order, but it's looking promising. This motor's looking really good so far. The next step in disassembly would be to pull the pan off, and I don't have anything to kind of catch whatever residual oil's in there, so I'm not going to do that today. But from the rest of the motor, it's pretty clean, should be at least. So next step, get all the parts in. I think the next video will be us pulling the trans and engine out of the 325 so we can get ready to swap this in. The other piece of the puzzle that I have is this GetRag G260 5-speed drive shaft. Every single component I need for a 5-speed manual swap. So that'll need to all be cleaned up obviously, and I'll need to get like new trans mounts and stuff, but that's ready to go. So we'll have a 5-speed and 5-speed fresh motor, so should be running good. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That was more of like an update video, I suppose you would call it. But yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and you can follow me on this whole thing. So there'll be a few videos be made out of this, including refreshing this motor, pulling that motor, doing the manual swap. It's gonna be a big project, but we'll get it all done and the car will drive great and be ready for boost next summer, because that's exciting. So leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.